Good afternoon, London and beyond, depending on where you are in the world. My name's Hina, and I'm coming to you remotely from the Master Shah Dow Center in London. So, the London Center has one of our more popular workshops coming up, our Open Spiritual Channels Retreat. And in London, we don't make it like a weekend workshop, we make it a highly intensive 5-day workshop where basically you learn a lot about the spiritual channels, how to open them further, to deepen your connection, and just get a ton of clearings, a ton of blessings, and a ton of healing. Now, for many of you out there who have physical health conditions, mental conditions, emotional issues, you might wonder, what does open spiritual channels have to do with healing my physical, emotional, or mental condition? Well, as Master Shah teaches his wisdom, everything is connected. And the guest that we have on the show today is a prime example of how having open spiritual channels has helped her healing process. So it is with a wide open heart, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to now welcome Shamim. Hi, Shamim. Welcome to the Facebook Live show.
Hi, Hina. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Now, Shamim, I've said this before and I will say it again. I so honor and I'm so appreciative of your widely open spiritual channels, because when I see some of your comments or see what images come to you and you graciously share it with all of us, I myself, my understanding grows and it deepens. So, first question, Shamim, have you always had your channels open, or was it something that came with the practices at the Master Shah Dao Center?
I think my channels, as far as I'm aware, have been open since age 4 or so, so quite young. But at that age, you think it's quite normal, everybody sees. It was only with time that I realized that that wasn't the case. We're all born with open channels, all of us, but for most of us, it cuts off about the age of 7 or so, whereas for me, it remained open throughout my life. Since the age of 4, I think I consciously remember having open channels. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And how was your experience with your open channels before you learned some of the teachings, wisdoms, techniques at the Master Shah Dao Center versus after finding the Dao Center and developing your channels or these skills? What was the difference before and after?
I think the main thing is that with having an open third eye, what I found is that I used to get a lot of headaches and migraines, a lot of intense energy in my head, and my foundation was quite weak. So I could feel lightheaded, faint. But after, I think, coming to Master Shah's, what I found is that my foundation has strengthened with the practices. The migraines aren't as intense as well. It's probably grounded my channels more, I would say. Yeah.
That's amazing. And any changes in the type of images that you receive now?
I think there's more depth. And I think for me, the main thing is the audio, because I think before I could see, but what's strengthened for me is the audio. It's hearing the audio message as well as seeing the visual. The two complement each other. You know, you need both, because you need to understand the significance of what you're seeing, and the audio messages, they help that process.
That's true. And so, Shamim, tell us about the physical pain issues that you were undergoing with your back and the sleep issues. Can you explain to us what that whole process was?
Yeah, well, it was about 6 months ago. I would say at the start of January 22, I had this intense pain in my back, just behind my right shoulder. And the pain, it would like start in my spine, it would go up to my shoulder blade, it would travel down to my arm, to my elbow. It got to a point where it was almost like a pain level 8, like 8, sometimes even a 9 on rare occasions. And I had to stop using this side of my arm. I became more reliant on my left side. It started about 6 months ago in my previous job. And I had a couple of days off work, but even when I went back to work, the pain was there. And I tried different things over the last few months, like ibuprofen and gel traditional medicine, and nothing was making a difference. And then I was like 2 weeks ago, I was really fortunate to be invited to receive some Tao blessings. So very grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw you receiving those blessings, and they were really magnificent. And so, while you were receiving these really huge blessings, can you describe to us what you saw?
Um, yeah, for me, I was fortunate enough to receive 3 actually, but that made me realize how much healing needed to take place. You know, we got I got a Tao calligraphy healing field blessing, a Kong healing, and a crown chakra. And for me, the Tao calligraphy healing field alone was really powerful. It was super powerful. And at that time, I had like a pain level 6. And after that, my pain level went down to like a level 3. I could just see like a huge washing. I could see lots of like dark, almost like shadows, dark blocks and shadows within the body in the area where the energy was stuck, and the negative information was heavy. And what I saw was like an pouring of lots of intense light. And as the light came in, it was washing out a lot of the negative information. So it had cleared like a layer. And then I received the Kong. And I think that really blew me away, because it almost got to a point where I stopped seeing, because the level of blessing was so high. It's almost like you blank out a little bit. Your body's in such a high vibration, you blank out a little bit. And for me, it was moving, I think, seeing my Akashic record book being brought out, and and seeing what was inscribed in my Akashic record book. I kind of realized how significant it was on that day when I saw that. And then it went down to a 1 after the Kong. And then I think the crown chakra just brought completely, by the end, I was down to a pain level 0, from being a 6 to within 15, 20 minutes being a pain level 0. For me, it was just amazing. When you've had 6 months of pain, sleeplessness, limited mobility, not being able to use your arm, it was amazing. Within 15 minutes to go from a pain level 6 to 0 was amazing.
I know that is an amazing story, because I myself was thinking that, because you experiencing this for like 6 months, and there's many of us who experience pain, including me, for months and months and months. And then if we're lucky enough to get some of these blessings, it's like within 5 minutes, a huge reduction or even elimination of the pain is just something so extraordinary. And so we were discussing a little bit earlier about how your open channels have helped you go into deeper appreciation of what happens at the Master Shah Tao Center and the Tao calligraphy healing field that Master Shah has created for all of us. Can you explain a little bit what you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, for me, having open channels has been priceless, because it's helped me deepen my appreciation in a way that perhaps I wouldn't if I was just observing with like my human mind. So when I received the healing, it was moving for me to see appreciate the depth and the level of healing. Like I said, seeing my Akashic record book being brought out, and seeing my book being inscribed. And, you know, even it makes you appreciate the depth of what you've received, really, how sort of sacred it is. And even with the practices, like, so when I do the healing practices and I can see what's taken place on an invisible level, it makes you commit more to your practices because you can see the healing that's taking place. Because sometimes you can lose commitment because you're thinking, oh, I'm doing something, but it's not working. On a human mind, we think that sometimes, but I think on an invisible level, when you can see what's taking place, it makes you commit to the practices more. So it's helped me appreciate what I'm receiving, and it's helped me continue the practices. I'm very grateful for having open channels.
Yeah, I think when you can see, when we develop our skill to see, like, whoa, there's so much light here, or there's all these high level beings helping me heal, you cannot but help go deeper in your heart for the appreciation and gratitude, and then persistence, commitment, because not always do the blessings just, it can, but not all of them are completely instant. So we always have to do our 50%. So that's amazing. Another aspect of spiritual channels that I would like to speak about is that what I've personally noticed is when I receive a message from a teacher or a Tao Soul communicator in relation to the issue that I'm trying to heal or transform, just hearing a message is healing in itself. Like, this is what I need to work on, or this is this, or this that. How do you feel about, like, the not just seeing but actually receiving, like, a message? Do you find that healing or transforming as well?
Yes, because you know, when we connect to receive a message in soul communication, or somebody does it for you, or it's a master teacher and they're guiding you through their channel, the frequency of that message, it brings a certain information down to you, and that message carries a certain light and frequency that actually washes you just by hearing the message, and it can resonate with you at a deeper level, you know. So yeah, it's healing. Just hearing the message alone can be very powerful.
Okay, and what about the soul language channel, Shamim? When we're singing our soul language, we have been told that that in itself is healing. So, what do you see, or what do you experience? Why is soul language healing?
Soul language is really healing because it opens your heart. So one of the things I found is, before I come to Tao Calligraphy Healing Field, if I spend 2 to 3 minutes chanting my soul language, that alone opens my heart to be able to receive from the field, because our soul language is our language of the soul. And actually, what you'll find is everybody's soul language is unique. And actually, when you chant your soul language, whether we realize it or not, there are other beings who are chanting their soul language as well. On a soul to soul level, there's a very sacred connection taking place with our heavens teams, our spiritual mothers and fathers, and other beings. There is communication taking place at a higher level. And we can experience and bring that frequency to us just by chanting our soul language. It opens our heart to be able to receive more from a sacred field.
Okay, and last question, Shamim. When you have you gotten to that point where, when you're chanting your soul language, do you hear, like, your body cells or the beings, the cells in us chanting as well?
Yes, because I'll tell you what, it's sometimes I will wake up in the middle of the night, or I wake up in the middle of the morning, and somebody will be chanting. Now, I'm not physically chanting, I've just woken up, but I can hear. And it doesn't have to be my soul language. It could be another mantra. It could be Amitofu. It could be, you know, for another special being. But it's my soul, or it's another person, and I can hear them, So yeah, even if we're not consciously chanting, our souls can chant, because our souls are in communication with our heavens team or our other beings. Soul to soul, they have their own language in communication. So even when we're sleeping, our soul can still be chanting, and we can wake up and hear our soul language and think, oh, where did that come from? Oh, it's my soul. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this has been absolutely fascinating talking to you. And it's so interesting because you really give us visuals to kind of sort out, like, oh, this is happening. That's why I should chant my soul language, or that's why I need to continue my practices. So even if I don't feel or see anything, healing or transformation is still taking place. And the very last question, Shamim, for you: has the pain returned?
The pain has not returned. I have woken up, but it's a different kind of waking up. I can feel chi moving, blocked energy moving. But that's different to waking up in physical pain. If you're waking up when blocked chi is moving, it's a good feeling. Okay, some healing is taking place. Even as I'm sleeping, something is happening. But for me, it's been amazing. Like, I went to an exhibition about a week ago, and I had lots of heavy bags. I was able to go up and down several flights of stairs. I could not have done that 6 months ago. I was able to carry those things. I had to take the cat to the vet earlier in the week, and I had the cat who's 3 kilograms in a bag and some other bits and pieces. I was able to carry all of that on my shoulder, and could not do that even 2 weeks ago. So for me, it's given me a bit more of my independence back, being able to do more for myself without feeling limited. So yeah, it's been wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, Shamim. I'm so happy to hear your healing results. And again, it was just so enlightening speaking to you. I'm sure everyone who's listening, if you can make a few comments, I think I can see the comments, please do. So, Shamim, thank you so much. And I will be in touch with you a little bit down the line to get that other testimonial done.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Hina.
Okay, everybody. So you heard Shamim's beautiful story and how her open spiritual channels have helped her whole life. But she learned how to really get huge leaps in transformation when she started taking classes at the Master Shah Dao Center here in London. It helped increase her foundation, to stabilize her foundation. And you can receive messages, but if you don't know what's the next step or what to do with the messages, you're already limiting your healing. You can also, even if you don't have open spiritual channels, I personally would still encourage you to join this workshop, because in our workshops in the Master Shah Dao Center, in Dr. and Master Shah's creation of the Dao calligraphy healing field, that's exactly what you're getting. You're getting healing. As you clear your spiritual channels, you're allowing energy to move. And when you're allowing energy to move, a lot of that stagnant energy that causes a lot of health issues start to improve. And it is not something that you should expect to happen instantly. It can. But as you heard Shamim, you also have to do your own part. You have to continue the practices. Just like you can't go to the gym for like a month, lose weight, and then not go back and expect the weight to not return. You have to continue working out. You have to continue doing your part. So it's the same thing with your open channels and your physical, emotional, or mental healing. So thank you, Linda. Linda Aloba from DC. She comes, I think she's been at least to 2 or 3 Open Spiritual Channels workshops, and she comes continuously. So people who have already been to Open Spiritual Channels workshop, like me, I've been to several, you continue to come because your spiritual channels are limitless. You can always increase the accuracy, the depth, and just you can actually reach even higher levels of information. And the higher level of information that you can receive, you will actually get a lot more transformation, you get a lot more healing, and you can help others on a very high scale. So please join us. The Master Shah Dao Center here in London is doing something very special for this workshop. July 29th to August 2nd is the 5-day retreat, but Saturday and Sunday of that time period will be in person. The details will be on the link, so you can actually join us for at least 2 of those days if you can. It's totally optional. You can stay 5 days online if you like. There's also a 2-week replay, so if you're working, you can always watch. And if you're kind of not sure if this is something that you would like to join, we are having an introduction to Open Spiritual Channels retreat actually tomorrow. So you can sign up for that. It's completely complimentary. You will get to know our teachers that are going to be leading the workshop. You'll get to know a little bit more. You'll go deeper. You'll get to taste the pear. So please join us. We definitely are experts in opening spiritual channels in a safe, effective way. I'm just going to quickly read Linda's comment. How can open channels help you serve clients with the greatest accuracy? I once had a friend who had an extremely painful stomachache every morning. He came to me asking for help. I tuned in and heard very clearly there is something he is taking every morning that is the root cause of this predicament. I called him to find out if he was taking any supplements or medication. I asked him, what does he eat every morning for breakfast? After more digging, we discovered that the only one thing, oh, cliffhanger. Okay, so you're gonna have to read her comments that I think she's probably still typing now. So I'm gonna use my spiritual channels and just say they found the root cause, whatever he was taking, and when he stopped, his stomach pain was gone. So we'll find out if I'm right. I'm gonna go back and read the comments. So thank you, everybody. My name's Hina, and please join us. Please find out more. We have the website up. Figure out if anything that the Master Shah Jazz Center can offer you will work for you. I can pretty much say you can at least find one thing. We have complimentary nights, we have workshops, we also have the email. So if there's anything specific you would like to know about, please email us and ask us, and we can connect you to the best type of service we can offer. And lastly, please share this message. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones. If this resonates with you, if someone comes to mind, which is your spiritual channels, that would benefit from this workshop, please tell them about us. So I thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.